just to make sure that voltages in that part of the country are more stable. And a lot is being done to make sure that it's strengthening even the transmission network. Because when say, you know, ECG phone your generators, gridco, and the IPPs. IPPs no be Senate, be the American Mechano. Yeah, what do you call it? Sono Asogli, those IPPs. And I work via Rianka, and I work transmission company Gridco. And after I work ECG. Into the fault can come from any of them. Transmission network and no problem. It's ECG. But because ECG and I interface with the public will be an ECG. People don't know about VRA. We have a shortage in supply and ECG be told to dump load. Even VRA grid Kwankasa the transmission company Ebiamu transmit say ECG dump the load at this point in time. ECG into Mianya. Gridco on its own system can take off the load. Not the whole system cut down, but everybody will say ECG4. Okay. A lot is being done to make sure we keep the lights on. Now we compare even the past to what we have now. The lights gradually is being improved. The system is being improved. And yet one-off thing, but it is something which is being done gradually, and the system is being made to remain stable.
Enra say the whole of Kumasi from Enyumrebe 7 o'clock deep into the night. Now Kumasi, half of the city was in darkness. Until Bianca, nobody is talking to anybody. Obia explanation say bia bibi say na ba ye just like that. Now say akwakoye a normal ade na yetete ho sa so.
But you abon my money bia.
Debi. As at this morning, yenti bibia from either ECG, Gridco, and VRA, and Sebia, any of the independent power producers. Yenti bibia no pay us at this morning.
Because out of meme system no so no. You were emergency. Make media send us over WhatsApp message.
Yes.
Announcement. Announcement Wednesday 25th of June. And I'm see ECG will undertake emergency maintenance works to improve service delivery. Thursday 26th of June 2025. And affected areas Emina, Kote, the Duako, Chumsi, Eduato, Kokoso, Edumanu, Ampa, a lot of places. Shigem, Amanfro, Sokoban, Kofrom, Ampa Ben. They give ECG regrets the inconvenience that will arise out of this exercise. Emergency maintenance. It was one of the emergency maintenance they carried out as of yesterday. But those announcements and they sent announcement out into APIA. It has not gotten to your station. But they give all this information out to the public. Now, our systems, we encourage them and make sure they should put all these announcements out on our platform and all the relevant platforms.
Doc, no cross yes, IMF na akachre Ghana government. Anunti PRC every 3 months be say motor light bill ne water bill mo ediama because the last time be yet say mo so dollar rate ne economic niema energy for no eniema kokosoro ntemu tumu dia mo nyankopon adom this time dollar na is stable kakra de amaye ntinanka yedim senka nra mo ba bontene de na nke bia it will be a reduction rather than an increase mo de emaye enra nti de ne komu sa 2.45% increase started 1st July no de na asi
yo mi da say first point in say any IMF na catch say any but then the quarterly tariff review we don't take instructions from IMF. Before IMF ban this quarterly tariff review we started way back in 2003-2005. So that any IMF program BRC as of 2005 we're even having what we call HIPIC, high indebted whatever poverty something HIPIC. We're considered as a HIPIC country, but we're doing the quarterly tariff reviews way back in early 2000s. It's just a continuity of whatever it is we are doing. The quarterly tariff review just to make sure we maintain the real value of the tariff because if we don't adjust it marginally over a period, if we wait till about, let's say, 2-3 years time, now I see the quantum of increase will be so much there. I mean, I don't think we can all bear it. Depending on the variables that we have at hand. And in the first point. Second point, and say, yes, the cedi has appreciated against the dollar. Inflation, the last time inflation I used, it was around 22%. This time inflation at about around 18.4, but you used to average of 20.67 for a 3-month period. And what happened is that if we had used only the inflation exchange rate and the generation mix between hydro and thermal and tariff no back down, we should there's one factor higher, the weighted average cost of gas. And we have the last time it was $7.62 per MMBTU. This time it's 7.71, about 1 cedi account for every MMBTU. Okay, but yes, that factors in your partner, the tariff would have dropped, but 3 things have account. The last time tariff, it said there was going to be a reclaim or recoup of 488 million because now it can be 976 million, and we took 50% of that in the last tariff. Now, 488 million of that 976 outstanding at the tariff in the last quarter. At 488 million cedis to be recouped in this quarter. Into 488 at the attack, this period of tariff, second, they use light crude oil at the power some of the thermal plants because gas not gas no also. Some of the thermal plants use light crude oil. Some of them are dual fired. Dual fired meaning say a bit me use gas, a bit me use light crude oil, and I say heavy fuel oil. In fact, 27% of that cost at the tariff. The rest of the 73% are buying extra, so 73% of the light crude oil and the heavy fuel oils. Aside from that, there will be a reserve margin. The reserve margin is to make sure that we keep the system is very stable and reliable. The network it has to be stable and it has to be reliable. It's 488 million, 27% of the fuel cost Yafa, and the reserve margin. The 3 things made the system, the prices and as a tariff the basso kakra. If we did not consider all these 3 factors, now be boss, and I would have seen a decrease in tariff completely. That one they may pay so. But because of these 3 factors, I mean boss, that down of 488 million T2. Those things move the tariff to 2.45%.
Okay. Dog, now what are the BBI come on?
But what and the finance and capra. Okay. And it's remained the same. Okay. And the other thing, the only say, Ufa Ubit say lifeliner, Ayubia, which are between 0 and 30 kilowatt hours. One use between 0 and 30. Maximum, Busumi use 30 units, and that's the 30 kilowatt hours. Ubitia, the second Ababet now will be just 60 pesos. Based on the 2.45 AM. Second Abitia, in addition to the ultrasound, 60 pesos.
Okay.
So you use 50 kilowatt hours, and that's all units, so to speak. Second Ababet count 2 cedis 27 pesos.
You know, so we use 50 aircraft, 2 cedis.
2 cedis 27 pesos.
And I bet count. Okay.
But what I say?
Matthias.
That's what the 2.45 means.
Okay. Doc, Nyaminshra wa no pay watch each mama ye pa ye dase. Yo. For Dr. Kofi Obute ena yene no akwakudi enkomono oye the Director of Research and Corporate Affairs PURC. Asante light bill no. Yes yatum.
We know come better maintain price and I said maintain.
Say 60 pesos here working. Any 2 cedis. 40 pesos is 2 cedis, 20 pesos here. Okay, can I think we go meet me?
And I'm saying, come maintain you cross and maintain water now. Oh, now the main point is almost able to.
And worker say yes, and IMF.
But no cross say if you are IMF. According to one statement, 3 months be a mutum. I know this one. No more doubt to 6 months. Can never cost from my intimate. And I just say, Omo the end there. Utum say, Bosu be a 3 months be an year 2 more. Enti yen nan so de da kro se SPRC for so Bosu mi ensa we de Ghana for ye te so ma. Ya wo maintain kra my.
Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Esaba Tokuno na eno de tudwa se wo se wo no process no o mo fa so de yi na digina no enimrem kura no won ko ne nkotena wo tena ho na wa ye na adwuma no se o kaso amama se eno no nkire sa se post no ekuta ne ni hia na broso enti mame Gertrude Araba Esaba Tokuno, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana.
Suspended. In all of Ghana's 68-year history as an independent republic, there has never been a hearing for the removal of the Chief Justice. One would therefore have hoped that if such a process becomes necessary, it will provide good guidance and precedent for nation building. Unfortunately, every step of the removal process being undertaken against me is being done in a manner that breaks every rule on how justice is delivered in our country. And this is why I find the need to draw the nation's attention to the serious violations of the Constitution and law in the process, and the danger it holds for the development of the nation.
Chief Justice no na enwachire o se o kamobiate se ono no asa manfo se ase Chief Justice na ye Jeffrey nsem no e na ase ekuno ene ha no so ono no obi a ase o clinge so much to titles and positions debi onye that type ni bi kra.
I've also heard commentaries in the media about how this process was born out of a stated political agenda to remove me and control the judiciary, and that it is a political effort that can only result in an outcome that was decided long before it started. I thank everyone who has engaged in this conversation out of concern for my safety and well-being. Let me assure everybody that I am not seeking to cling to a title.
No. Wasi post no ekura no onye that type no a ase post some position some no so ase debi onye that type no cry to no omo mo ke kasa nsem no eno no ehia ne sa na okay kan nsem no nyina awie ye no government so eba bonten honorable Felix Kwachi Ofosu edi nchiremu by say allegations are the suspended Chief Justice eke kan nyina no kure bia eni ba kokura mo
commentary up until the time that the committee looking into the matter makes their determination. We are compelled, however, to correct certain misimpressions that were created at the briefing. To begin with, let me point out that as yet, nobody has been able to ascribe any known verifiable constitutional breach to the president in the way that he has handled this particular matter. From the very first steps in this matter, the president has kept fidelity to the Constitution and has respected the spirit and letter of the Constitution. Everything he has done has been by the book. That is why all those who have commented on the matter, including her leadership, the Chief Justice, have been unable to point to any specific provision under Article 146 that the president has been in breach of. Second, in terms of confidentiality, the president has acted strictly in accordance with the Constitution. At no point in time has the presidency put out anything in any way, shape, or form that remotely resembles any of the contents of the petition. And the only communication that has gone out on this matter have been about the steps that the president has taken in accordance with the 1992 Constitution, Article 146 to be precise. 3, her ladyship, the Chief Justice, all but insinuated that there was some political agenda at play to oust her, and that this whole process is a result of sin. Let me place on record, without fear of contradiction, and let me be clear that no such political agenda exists. His Excellency the President took an oath to which he was incidentally sworn by her ladyship the Chief Justice herself. And in that oath, he swore to abide by the 1992 Constitution. He is enjoined to act a particular way when he receives petitions.
Chief Justice suspended, as I say, the suspended Chief Justice Ade Akye Abia Felix Kwachi Ofosu honorable Ade Enchemu Banasante and say no Chief Justice beba na the government also Ade Enchemu aba on process as at this morning matter say we instructing the lawyers amoma file fresh applications or court wa omo de kwase process ni na
so why you be paying
wasa file bio
na mo botugu ye
want to say ko she's putting up a fight. Some say man emre eba oba de na de ndie na ho ahwan o kire o say nye man nyina na emre
mama no can say she's not getting fair hearing. I say as in you know wunya no wo attention e kwanso
yes
na Ghana ha obia obenya sem court bia na sana so beka if a whole chief justice or suspended chief justice because that means the problem is not the law but people who are interpreting the laws and the money imrane de nkasem bia ni ho
so chief justice na yesu ya
na sebe obi akwa abode wo kura bia ase on ne benya justice ya asokwa court 3 e be si ne since be November omuni judge ho
asokwa
court
3 circuit court and say district court omuni judge are the judges na short one
na ba kono koye no emu fa bi ma be si ne
nti omo cases won mo mbende
no and yes aban kura twa nipa ni bi ka ho to asem ko a be da wadi wase so say wo ka say the system no ne you are the one who inherited now what kase be yedi asem kura che say wo nya justice
wo say dan ni mu no dan na hwa na eku ni wo fa
na tie na
iti on be so mu no anu
am for so agi say ma me Charlotte say fa na ne kokwa ya kukutu ni free na kunya no so
Charlotte say de na ehia
anya say court on ko say judicial court do ne de ne ko
on the end they say it is done by the Chief Justice.
Nanya Chief Justice.
Who say where the end by the president.
And I make us we get the same process now. Same process ya o mo
so say same thing. Or say petitioners no mo de petition aba no. I say oba petition I say esesa so hu. O say nsem no mo de bo no kwadu no. The president de bre no committee no. E de ye adwuma no officer nso ye wom.
And no can say I say in the book of things that die be our soon maybe no I will catch say enyansa for mra maso daye na me so akura mi ankasa men kai ne mo mon kai de na mon san che daye na se sana na ma meneka ya we na ye de no yi ano say ensam no was
so on there or say or honey de krata bread no from the presidency say kwadu ye de bo won yi ano so hu e no yi ano e na say ko face impedimfu yi afo ko no a kwadu no a efri mampania so ye ba ya yesi ye de wono wo kosi ya mpanimfo no office asenso ye wonsem mu
asemu ye asemu ina say mama ya be press conference aban be ina no enti amran say omo petitioners omo so ntimi press conference
na mate say lawyer Martin Pebu ka asem bi say de mama na ye no she can be charged for contempt Say nasem ye asem I say the committee ni ye like it is a court.
A court.
And what be
outside the court.
That's it.
I say what say more court.
Mo.
Now what sorry I say
what
court.
What time free court.
I say minya tenchene. Enso so umna nyina hemano. Ti me ntia say na me kan say obi ade asem court na wo su. Ti je na wo court ho. Oh, what emre nya da na so ma me we wo ka chi ensem akona nimi ba wa kind of wo ha.
Eh, be kai case bia no one lawyer tadi sorry me enu. Ave do be like give and take na. Yes.
So enti no me de penfo so wi fo nsa no ayo nsa. Ma me no de ese me de. Wo se
am for say ase o hwe no a official say obi a paw no. Obi ni nuanom judge fo nyina ke ba ye. So who ke bia ka Supreme Court judges no obenya ba ko mienu bi agya say sister we de me ne wa beta wachi
na sam ode koye no
ni nuanom lawyer fo nyina so apaw no
on say ode na sam koye no wode koye no wo se woni mpanimfo no nya adwe unanimous mbo say won onye unanimous no mbo tugu ye kura as was it 7 or 4 50 when you obi kura nka bia ma ne say so was it the process na fa so no enye ma me saka say 100% ye instead of income na senka ye ni kukom no emma no so mfa sa asem we ma
nso say asem na di already no eda bonte de da
eda bonte
say mo oje chop money ma ne ba agibi ma ne kunu
enti ofomra ye say no kura ofomra
sika no so sika na mo de ma no wo kwa e kura say 4000 pen odi ye no de 9000 o say wan hwan ebra mo say sika na mo de ba me say me mfa nko chop money no
na do so
do nti monye me koye no chop money na bi kanam de brem eso na mu kume
sa
sa no ga
and what you receipt or dey ba man receipt
we bia ho no
so de ni nyina kwa kire committee o say we nya committee nsam o be say we nya o say the court of
public so the asem no mo de ba court of public opinion no so de nsam ba say
enti no
me na mo begu mani masi me so de me ye ni
papa Martin Pegu o mo me who no kura say petitioners no say ma me ha say she going bonkers Presidency about a press conference na.
Senior, there ye obi ana kana say.
So so beche some ye check Ghana for.
Na petitions na ye hwan.
Oh, some say papa bia say papa say bia o
wo ti abrojire.
I say ono the constitution here no. So some go for na bono so beche o mu say bia na ma me so anasa abanpo entimi nchem say o mu sipa no. Yeah, until there.
As a day interest.
Papa ko for so ka.
Papa ko for so 2 MPP for fu. Oso mu hweye o na ye party na esi wo no already na esi ye mpentafo asem ya ka ma ne daga na futrim se MPP ye party a ntafo mo mpom asem nkremufo mo mpom asem nti mu hweye nkomo na mu die no wom se akonya na atofie na mo kopre ho mo hwem nkomodie mu ye
afuti we say ya ngara na last this week ya can be
yeah
oh now my
the
principles of the party no na me say but we know kind of principles
be principles no but time with the time na so mama
okay we come about boss the principles so say party no ye dey share na the party ni bae we say ono mampanyi kufo aba okọ the principle of the party must remain buzia abako dankwa abako akufo ado so abako but the party the principles the man fa nya adwuma
are the principles na sesa
na the in akufo times and the principles we ekosu yi ena ka kwa bi mampanyini 1998 ya kwa so sunya nsenka kofo sa principle so koso ne ya obi akasa ya na mi wosika ena mo wosika they are talking about money not even about ene mi hu mi maintain aspirant bia ne vision bi kwa o de ma party na
de asante baby edo de nye vision asem ne ye pe
keska
ai mo chop money asante asem papa ye no me wo wi asese di we koto
me ayabo papa ya afi na koye fra mo nchechi sa MPP for ideology we say menti asem mo say property own democracy mo chechi asem che Ghana for na
so nya japade na dia be prema mpeni
property own democracy
emba ne Mr. Wak ena eba no pe Mr. Wak na di locals no